Yeah, that.
Just a mailbox.
And play like a big screen TV on there.
Yeah, that's pretty
Hey, Christmas going on.
Sorry for the uninteresting background, but hi, welcome back. I'm Kane Wade. I'm working on my debut sci-fi fantasy novel, which basically planned for today. If the title told you anything by the time I get to the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be binge writing today. I was supposed to have yesterday and today to write, but now I only have today. So goal is to finish chapter 3 and hopefully let's finish chapter 4 too. That would probably equate to like 3,000 words. So hopefully, if my intro makes sense, stick around and let's vlog. I'm going to basically hang out indoors while my boyfriend snowboards, and I'm going to focus on writing. So goal is to hit about 3,000 words. I'll drop my current word count down here, and yeah, let's just get into it. I'll be back here and there to chat. I got a mic just so when I'm in busier areas, I'm not so weird about like voicing over stuff. So I'll probably be back to like chat and whatnot. And if not, I'm very sorry about that, and I'll chat with you later. Okay, bye.
always on the cruise, so let's head down to the
Forgive my poor lighting. This is my attempt to not have to turn on the overhead light, and it's, you know, I figured I'd record when it's still daylight, but I forget it sets at like 4:30 p.m. But that's besides the point. The point is you probably saw all these clips, me promising that I was going to write 3,000 words, and you know what happened? Literally nothing. I wrote nothing. I got to the ski spot, snowboard spot, whatever you want to call it. I read and I did not write. And you might hear my voice and think, wow, you sound terrible. I'm just now getting over being sick. But the day I was supposed to write, I was not sick yet. At least I'm pretty sure I wasn't. But obviously my energy was low and I could not fathom writing. And this is coming from someone who really hasn't written in weeks, and it's just because we've been busy, holidays, all that jazz, right? There's just no point in going on and on about it. But realistically, do I feel bad that I didn't write? Yes, I did. I felt bad that I didn't write. But I think there's a difference between making excuses and genuinely it's not the time to write. But I'd probably argue that weekend I probably should have written. I was probably full of excuses. Like I felt like I wasn't in the mindset to write. And so I read. I was like, okay, I'm going to read until I feel like I'm in the mindset to write. And, you know, I feel like an hour or two passed and I never felt like I was in the headspace to write my book. And that's probably an excuse because, of course, I'm only on the 3rd chapter. I have 3 POVs, so I'm in my 3rd point of view. And I wouldn't say I'm struggling, but every first chapter that I've had so far of each POV that I'm working on, I come to a point where I'm trying to find the character's voice. So of course these first 3 chapters have been the hardest because I'm trying to find the perfect voice for each character, because my last draft was 25,000 words and I basically tossed it all out because I just didn't think it was good enough. I kind of felt like I wanted to take the story in a different direction. There was no amount of revision that could have made that story the story that I wanted it to be, so I tossed it. So at the beginning of this year, I basically told myself, Kelsey, you're going to redo the chapter outline, you're going to write the story, you're going to have it done this year. And I am nowhere near done. It is December like 11th, I think, and I'm nowhere near done. 12th, I think it's the 12th. And I'm only 3 chapters in. My chapter outline is like, I think 53 chapters. I'm nowhere near done. But I have decided that I am the kind of writer that I need to write a clean draft. I tried the whole writing just for the sake of writing, getting words on the page, and I basically absolutely hated it. And historically, I have been that person where I write to basically edit. I write to edit. And that's probably a crime in most of the writing community, but for me, I've always been like that. Even in high school, I was someone who write and I would edit my writing like immediately. I like having, which back in the day I didn't know were called clean drafts, but of course now I know they're called clean drafts after watching so many YouTube videos on AuthorTube or whatever. And it's just who I am. I like a clean draft. I think that me thinking that I was going to write a full clean draft in 3 months was ridiculous. Especially during the holiday months. That was probably presumptuous of me, if we're being honest. But anyways, this video is really just to tell you that I am writing. Obviously, I haven't posted in months, but I am writing. And although I want to do writing vlogs, it would be dumb for me to have posted a writing vlog and not just admitted the fact that, like, I went into a day where I wanted to do a writing vlog and I basically literally wrote nothing. So I'm going to be doing another writing vlog today, but I really wanted to record this video of basically me ranting and going on about how I think last weekend, let's be honest, I think I was making up like mental excuses. Sure, I was tired. I think I've come to realize that I'm a little bit more of an introvert than an extrovert most days. So after so many weekends of having to be extroverted and using all my days off to like see people, entertain people, do holiday stuff, I came down to my weekend, right? It was like my weekend to write. I was so prepared to write, and I was actually supposed to write 2 days that weekend, but one of the days got overtaken again by like holiday stuff, and I had a great time, but my battery was like dead. So I got to this point where I was like, I'm gonna write. Even when I got home after the ski place, I was like, I'm gonna write. But no, I needed to sit and do nothing and just be okay with that because there's no other way my battery was going to recharge. Like exerting my mind to write the story was not going to help. So, anyways, basically, I'm full of excuses like every other human being on this earth. And honestly, that's okay because, I hate saying mental health, but your mental health is important when you're writing a book because all you need to write a book is to have mental health, basically. So, anyways, this is, I guess, a PSA. Take your time writing your book. Don't feel like putting weekends off or days off writing is a crime because it's not, because it's your book and it's your story. And like, I've been working on the story for basically years at this point. And no amount of rushing towards the end is going to make my book any better because I've already spent years on it. So, no problem with that. So, anyways, yeah, I'll see you later.